I want people to understand is your story matters, right? Your personal integration and your personal stories that you share in your book, in the book you write, are going to be what separates you from the masses.
Today we get to sit down with Zachariah Stratford from the Book Patch, and we get to talk about publishing your book. It doesn't matter what type of book. It could be hardcover, softcover. It could be spiral bound like I'm doing right now for a workbook for the Clarity Challenge. Listen, there's so many options, and your story needs to get out there. Now, if you've been following along, we've been talking about how to write with AI, and then we've been talking about how to write your book using the 7-day challenge. And now we're talking about publishing. These 3 episodes go perfectly together like peanut butter and jelly. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Entrepreneur's Hierarchy of Needs podcast. My name is Tim Palladino, and this is the show for entrepreneurs who want a higher value life and business. Zachariah, what is going on, brother?
Tim,
what's happening? In case you guys haven't been able to tell already, this is a good friend of mine, Zachariah Stratford. We are, well, on Facebook at least. Zach, you're one of my first friends. Like the weekend I moved to Austin.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we might get a little wacky, guys. That's I'm giving you that little story, little caveats. You know,
friend, workout buddies, yoga buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Got our ass kicked in spin class
by senior citizens. So Zachariah is here today to talk about the Book Patch. I'm going to let him fill you in on what the Book Patch is and how it's different. So Zachariah, why don't you go ahead and take it from there?
Cool. Yeah, so the Book Patch was developed 13 years ago from my dad, Victor Ostrowski. And he is #1 New York Times bestselling author. And he really needed a platform to easily send files to his own printing press, right? From his books. He went into kind of the original, as people were just starting to self-publish, and he needed just a way to get files over to a printing press he was working with. And so he had a programmer develop the Book Patch, what kind of the first rendition of it. And all it did was take his files, convert it to the right file type, and do whatever was needed with the cover so that the printing press could print it easily. And then it kind of developed into, oh shit, other people can, use this, right, to do their own printing, small batch printing, into what it is today, where we've published over 100,000 titles and are really kind of breaking down the barriers of what it takes to publish your own book. So that's kind of in the rundown. And one of the biggest challenges we come across is, everyone has a story like trapped inside their head. Most people want to write a book. It's 90% of people, it's on their bucket list. So what are the barriers that it takes to get there? And that's what we focus on every day, is breaking down those barriers.
Yeah. And I definitely agree. Everybody should write a book. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that, I think a lot of what I've heard when talking to people about this is, hey, I don't have a story. That's not true. That's not true. It seems that you don't because you've experienced it, and it's not interesting to you because, you've worked through it. But even if take the simplest story, right? Someone's simple life story, it could affect and impact someone just by being relatable. Hey, I felt the same way here. Now I feel a connection to you, and I feel more normal because I went through the same thing. It doesn't have to be any like epic tales, but you really should be able to tell your story. And a byproduct from that, in writing, my own book that's going to be published soon, with the Book Patch, is that it really releases a lot of gratitude. It makes you very, very aware of what has happened. Really give yourself the permission to congratulate yourself when of all the cool things like the accolades that you get to write in there, and just a new appreciation for what you've experienced and what you plan on doing. So
Right.
I'm definitely for everybody writing a book.
Right. That it's almost cathartic, right? Like
Yeah.
writing that book and
It really
sharing the
is.
story. I think, and everyone's story is so unique, and it can speak to and provide value to so many people. Like
Mhm.
that Darby and I are doing the coaching, right? Getting people
Yep.
to through that process with
To the
artificial
7-day book
intelligence,
challenge, right? Yep.
right? Through the 7-day book challenge, and it is. Man, a lot of people are writing business books. And so it's a lot of the same structure of like, starting with why, like Simon Sinek, and getting your ideal avatar. And there's a lot of the same similar story, like similar
Yeah.
process of business, but everyone is adding their kind of unique flair. We had one woman who was from she's Persian and an immigrant and was from a well-to-do family in Iran and came over in the revolution and had to restart her life with nothing. Right.
Wow.
And her story and how it relates to business is totally different than the financial advisor that we have that is helping people when after they sell their business and understand kind of what happens in the journey people go through and sometimes depression they follow after they have all the success. So but also a lot of similar factors between the two too. So we haven't seen like a duplicate yet, just because of that personal story and because of the personal journey that each person experiences. And it's so cool to be able to help people like bring that to life. It definitely lights me up, and you get to hear. I mean, I've been on coaching calls where I'm crying, they're crying. Like, we just go deep. We go deep. And that's
because it is highly personal. It is highly personal stuff. And that's, I think, that's where the apprehension comes. People know that it's more acceptable to be vulnerable these days, but it's not perfectly easy yet. And it's like, even some of the admitting, like over the last like 2 or 3 years with my growth, I've had to admit some stuff to myself and publicly. Like a lot of my book is actually, you're just talking about like when you hit success, a lot happens. And I have to talk about all that went to shit as soon as I was successful, as soon as I had an exit. So yeah, it's highly personal, real scary, but everybody that I've told the story to even considering writing a book, they were like, that needs to be told more often. Like that's what really got them engaged and got them thinking about, okay, I need to worry about right now, and then understand that happens. So even if someone's not in that situation currently, it's at least a prelude to let them know, hey, this might happen. Because it was my expectations that got the best of me. Enough about me. The book patch is pretty rad. And one of the few things that I want to talk to you about is the layers, right? So there's like, people have to buy a barcode. I can't remember what it's called for some reason. ISBN. Thank you very much. And you could do that right through you guys, which made it super, super easy for me. I knew how to do it from something else, but it was a really difficult, like kind of weird roundabout process. And you guys made it super easy. Add it to cart. You know what the difference is between the products. Nice and easy. You also have a really dope. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, keep going. I mean, keep going.
Yeah. So the other part that I really liked that kind of gave me confidence, and it's having a healthy disregard for reality is something I always preach, but also having a good, solid plan on what things are going to cost. Right. So your website gave me the opportunity to check what things were going to cost me, so I can start considering, what do I have to price my book at? Like, like what's my story? Not what YouTube tells me, not what other people tell me. What's my version of the truth here? And the book patch gave me the confidence to actually go through it. And I understand not everything is going to be perfect all the time, but it gave me like a real solid foundation to move forward pretty swiftly.
Right. And that's the ticket here. And that's what I think people don't understand is literally you can go onto our site up, and you really don't, if you're self-publishing and you're just selling on our website, you don't need an ISBN, right? If you want to be in stores and all that, yes, that's definitely the route to take. But it's knowing, okay, you're printing one book costs this much, $4.74 to $7 generally. Maybe if it's color or larger pages, upwards of 9 to 12. That's what one book, and you can print one book through us. There's no minimums, right, through us. So knowing that this book costs this much, you print 100. Obviously, there's bulk discounts, and we have the print on demand. So and then knowing, okay, if you're doing the research on the front end, you know what your pricing should be, right? And you're making the difference. You make 100% of the profit. So there's no weird, if you sell this much, you're making, this commission. It's so transparent and easy and simple, and that's what we want, right? It's our printing cost is the same whether you're printing one copy for yourself or someone is ordering a copy from you, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to stick by that rule moving forward and forever, because there's no minimums. It's not like, I got to order 50 copies for myself, and then you get them to yourself, you start getting orders. Now you got to ship those books out, right? So you're thinking you're paying whatever the bulk shipping is, a few $100 to yourself, and then you're shipping out single books at $5-6. That's a headache. So the ability for you to come onto our site, upload your book, and say, okay, this one book is going to this one address, this one book is going to this address, and pay for that yourself and accept payments. It's making it simple to get your story done.
I can only imagine if a painter had to make their canvas every time they had to paint, how frustrating that would be, and how soul sucking that the creation process would be. Yeah. It's like, I don't even want to paint anymore because I don't want to make canvas any longer. And that's what's so cool, because it's no longer an exclusionary club. It's an inclusive club where it's like, tell your story. It's the hardest part, if you even want to call it that, because I'm going to point back to the 7-day book writing challenge that you and Darby are doing, which is absolutely brilliant and I absolutely love. The hardest part, quote unquote, is the writing of the book, and from there it's done. Distribution, like all these things are so simple now. There's no better time. No better time.
And I think you're hitting the nail on the head. And I truly think publishing, like traditional publishing, is dead. Because before, right, a publisher would take on all these costs. Okay, you got to print this many, you got to get the orders, all the marketing, all the editing, cover design, all of that stuff. There's some costs that they take on. Nowadays, publishers, and they're called publishers or vanity publishers, they're not doing shit for you. And like the distribution, and unless they're putting tens of $1,000s into marketing your book and building your own personal brand,
right?
They're really not. It's really not difficult. You can learn and do this stuff yourself. It's very easy, and it's easy to have a lot of success around that too, where you're keeping 100% of the profits. And that's with self-publishing and print on demand. It's super accessible. It literally, if you have a finished manuscript and a finished cover, you can upload and start selling your book in under 10-15 minutes with our site.
That's incredible.
So
that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So that's the breakdown. Now your whole time and focus can be spent on promoting your book and building your own personal brand. The other thing I like to talk about is with the book patch and how we're different is you're keeping all of your customer data. So all of the sales that are coming in, you go on, upload your book, start promoting your book on our site. It's kind of like your own bookstore page, right? And we're developing that too. So you'll be able to create entire book funnels on the book patch. You're promoting that, you're seeing all the sales come in, you're keeping 100% of the profit. We're handling all the printing and shipping fulfillment for you on the back end, so you don't have to worry about that. You have the ability to add books to inventory. So print at a bulk discount, 100, 200 books, bulk discount. And then as orders come in, we ship them out one by one. And all you focus on is promoting your book and building your own personal brand, and let us handle handle the busy work, right? Like the shipping,
Yeah.
because that's what takes the fun out of it. And the whole keeping your per customer data so you can retarget and remarket to
Massive.
them.
It's so big.
It's I think that's the most important piece. If you upload on Amazon, you're completely under Amazon's control, right?
Yeah.
You don't keep any of the customer data. So unless you're pulling them off your book, and let's say you're a nonfiction and you're offering a free giveaway, right? So people have to come to your website, enter their email, and you're capturing them that way. That's the only way you're going to see any of those people from Amazon. And less than 9% of people ever make it past, and 9% ever make it past the first chapter in your book. So how many readers are you actually losing, right? How many of them are actually going to come and enter their email and get your book or get your information where you capture their email? And how many of them are you missing out on that read your book, love it, and don't ever do anything about it? So controlling that atmosphere of who the customer is and being able to retarget them is a huge benefit to working with us and going with other. I don't think any other print on demand site does that, but we do.
Yeah. So something you mentioned before is maintaining your personal brand, like in my world, and I guess your world too. I think there's tons of benefits from writing your own book, whether it be like I have a workbook coming out. I have an actual regular book. I don't even know what you would call it. It's not a novel, but so I have those two different things. But so besides the functionality of the information that you learn, the utility of it, it also acts as a credibility piece. It's the new business card. And it's changed from, oh, you wrote a book to, oh, you know enough to fill a book.
Right.
And it's really, really interesting. One of the things that I'm noticing, and I'd really like your opinion on this to see if you're catching the same thing, the amount of books are going up and that are being produced, but the size of the books are shrinking from like 50,000 to maybe 30, sometimes 20,000 words.
Yeah.
And I think that's healthy.
Yeah, especially with nonfiction. What we're teaching inside of our writing course is you're solving an immediate issue and you're cutting the fluff out, right? So instead of writing a 350 page book that's full, and there's like, we can point to tons of examples like that, like the big publisher Tony Robbins. Who's the guy that just came out with the $100 million offer?
Alex Hormozi.
Alex Hormozi, great book, by the way, recommend it to everyone. But if you're solving an immediate need, keeping it short, simple, and to the point, you can directly speak to your ideal reader, right? Your ideal avatar, and kind of laser in on that immediate niche to be seen as the expert in that immediate niche. Right.
Yeah.
And we have dozens of examples of this, and people getting high ticket consulting gigs or whatever their high ticket offer sales are right behind that book, because the people that read it say, oh God, this person knows what they're talking about, and I'm just going to hire them for whatever it is. So we actually are creating the book specifically around what's that high ticket offer that you're offering. And let's cater everything we do to sell that, because you're not going to become a millionaire from the book sales. Most people won't, right? Even tens of thousands of books of book sales, it's not going to do it. So what other things can we integrate into your book funnel, right, to actually support what you want to do and support you as a business?
Yeah, that's just so important. And another angle that I'd like to put out there is because you're educating the reader, two things happen. One, they feel closer to you, right? Because they've spent time with you. And the other thing is that when educating them, they feel empowered now. They feel empowered to make a decision that's educated. And now they're not going to have no questions, but they're going to have proper questions. So you have pre-qualified leads coming right at you. Like, I mean, of course, there's going to be some tire kickers, but 1 out of 100 maybe versus like 10 or 9 out of 10. So yeah, I think that's one of like the largest, for me, one of the largest values. Cause I deal with a lot of unqualified leads. People just aren't ready, just aren't ready. And that's why I'm really getting into the book, because I used to do a lot of word of mouth stuff. And now this book is really going to set me up for finish this book up. It's not very long. Right. And let's have a chat. Right. Or not. Yeah.
You're like lasering in on exactly who you want to work with. And what's so cool about what I do with the AI, teaching the AI piece and writing the book with artificial intelligence with Darby, is we're breaking down the barriers of what it takes to write the book, right? So we can spend that much more time dialing in your why, dialing in your goals for the book, dialing in your ideal, who the actual person you're going to be writing to is, so that when you're using the artificial intelligence, you're so clear on that picture of who you want to work with that the tone of the book almost becomes conversational to them.
Yeah.
And then the cool part is you're inserting your personal stories into each chapter, right? And so now you're connecting, like the connection you have with that ideal avatar is they feel connected to you. It's not a fluff bullshit. Oh, I just want to work with entrepreneurs, right? You're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. We're like hyper focusing you in on that person. You're like the ideal avatar. We know their age, right? What books they read, what gurus do they follow, what conferences do they attend, what podcasts do they listen to, what Instagram accounts are they following? Like, we're creating such a clear picture of who this person is that you speak directly to them in your book. And then now finding 1,000 or 10,000 of those people, and then you have the perfect offer on the back end to sell to them or enroll them in. It's easy. You're like, your ideal customers are coming to you on a silver plate because you're speaking directly to them.
It's so structured. Yeah, it's so structured. And that's what I really love about it. There's like, anybody can have a good product, but not everybody can have a good process.
Right.
And and you guys you've pulled off both. And it's really cool to see. And I'm not biased. Like I obviously you guys are my friends, but like I tell Darby all the time, I'm like, you guys are really, really honed in on this, and it's really rad to watch it grow. So yeah, that's just it's so great.
It's a lot of fun. I would recommend to people, if they're starting the process of writing their book, right? Let's say, or someone's a business, one of your listeners is a business owner that wants to write a book. Get so clear. Like, if there's a couple things to do, get so clear on why you're doing this. Why will people read your book? Like, why will they give a shit, right? What's the immediate impact you'll have on them? So who are they when they come in to reading your book? Like, who are they when they start your book? And who are they when they finish, right?
Yeah.
And then just focus on getting them there, that one thing. Who are they when they transform? What immediate problem are you solving for them? And who will they be once that's done? And cut the rest of the shit out that doesn't lead directly to that.
Yeah. It's actually so funny because one of the sections, not even a chapter in my book, is education versus entertainment. And I think if what you just said isn't followed, the book becomes entertainment, not education. It's not valuable anymore. It's just fun. It's fluff. It's empty calories. Yeah. So I think that's such a brilliant way to go about it.
Right. The other piece, and Austin Distel, the perfect example. He's one of the founders of Jarvis AI. He wrote a book called Subscription Secrets, and he had someone come on. They ordered his book from Amazon. I don't judge him that he went with Amazon. It's okay. He ordered his book. They ordered his book with Amazon. They literally read the first chapter and then found him through one of his the hook that he had in the chapter, and signed up for all of his stuff immediately. He brought so much value in that first chapter. They were like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. They signed up for his hired consulting. and they're one of his customers now. But bringing that value immediately to them, and like I said, we lasered it, we dialed in on who he wants to speak directly to. He's now seen as the expert and subscription companies, and boom, he saw immediate results from it.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. And I'm willing to put money on the fact that that's much more common than we even know at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's absolutely great. So tell us about the new website. What's going on with the new website? The one you have now is beautiful. It works. It's great. But you got some tricks up your sleeve, it seems.
I got some tricks. So by the time this is released, you will be the first person, Tim, that will see the new site. So just give me a second.
That's amazing. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to, other than our beta testers and things.
The coders are all blind.
Yeah. No one knows anything about this. No. Give me a sec. I'm just going to pull this up. And what's really cool about, working with my dad, and as close as we are, it's literally we come and we say, what do we want to create, right?
Yeah.
What value do we want to bring to our readers? My whole goal with the book patch is I want people to come to our site and immediately go, oh, thank God, like a sigh of relief. Yeah. It is so difficult writing your book, right? It's such a mountain to climb. And then they get to that point, finally, my book is done. And then we're like, okay, how are you going to edit it, right? Who's going to edit it? What's your cover going to look like? How are you going to publish it? What publishing site are you going to use? Whether you want to go with Amazon, Barnes and Noble, like a self-publishing site, where are you going to go? What social media strategy do you have? How much money do you have for an ad budget? Like there's this other giant task of marketing your book that it can be super discouraging, right? So everything we do every single day is how do we make it easier for people to put their work out there and feel confident that they have a support system behind them. So let me share my screen.
So if you guys are listening or watching, do me a favor and in the comments below or an email, whichever you want, let us know what you would title your book and what it would be about.
Okay.
So
this is the new site, very similar to the old one, but here we go. So you go in here. Right? Book title, author. So if you use a pen name, a lot of people do, whatever that is, right? You can do that book title, right? Go through here, perfect spiral bound, hardbound. We're also hardcover is coming. And that's huge. And we're going to continue releasing new versions. So you'll be able to do a series too. So there's lots of different things we're working on. We have a ton. Can you
explain to me the series? What is that?
Yeah. So the series is, let's say you have 3 books. We want you to be able to package and sell them with in a box, like a box set.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's because that is the inevitable plan. By early next year is I'm going to have all 3 finished.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. So different black and white, different color sizes, lamination, glossy or matte. I really like glossy lamination. And then also interior bleeds. So bleeds are when the color, let's say you're printing a children's book, the color goes directly to the edge because we're printing on larger paper and then we're cutting it with big machines. So a lot of times there's that spacing. So a bleed means it goes all the way to the edge.
Copy that.
Categories. Let's see. Perfect now. Great, super easy. And then you upload your interior file. So in order to be print ready, you need to upload a PDFX, right? It's easy to do through Amazon or through Adobe Acrobat. And so I will just upload let's go with publish with Jarvis. So there, then you go directly into your cover
And it's
creator.
fast.
Yeah, so this is kind of your Canva style cover creator. So let's say you wanted to, this is so cool, Tim. Like we connect directly with Unsplash. So give me an image type.
Smiling faces.
Smiling faces.
They're all smiling faces.
So literally click and drag right over any stock photo
beautiful.
you want. And fit to front cover. Boom. Okay.
Done.
Now let's like trees. Oops, I should learn how to spell. Back, right? Fit to back cover. And then there's the fit to spine as well. So there's that. Or if you have your own cover done, check this out. This is like so easy. You have a designer create a cover. Boom, boom.
So good.
And then you're done.
So good.
Right. So you can add background elements, more photos, more background types, different, anything you want, text. Say you want to do it, do all the text and everything there. We have all of this text available for you.
Man, do you have, I'm sure you do, but do you have like exportable templates?
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm.
Great.
So those are coming.
Excellent. Super excited about that.
So save and order. So then you can view. Let me go back here, saying not available. Okay, and just, this isn't fully live yet, so there might be bugs. So just be aware of that.
For sure.
Okay. There you go. Okay, there's a bug there. I'll have that worked out. Not a problem. So you'll be able to view, here's our interior file right there. Go through, make sure everything looks okay. Ready to print, right? And then you view your cover there too. I confirm everything is perfect to print. Uh-oh. Okay, let's try this. Buy now. Do you want to add your book into the bookstore? Yes. Author synopsis, right? Test. Amazing book. Add your retail price, $20. Book synopsis, so great. Add your book to search engines, yes. And then any keywords that you want to add.
Oh, interesting.
Publishing, publish.
That's so smart too.
Jarvis, right. So show in the bookstore, yes. And then it shows you the, anyways, 20. It shows you the wholesale cost for your book, right? So $20 here, wholesale price. This is updated. So the wholesale price of your book to print one copy is $4.73. So literally you're making what, $15.27 per book sale.
Yeah.
And that gets paid directly to your PayPal.
Nice.
So we're doing
now, that's free shipping?
Yeah, so your customer pays for the shipping. So that never,
gotcha.
That's just the retail price. When they order, they'll see $20, and then media mail is like $5. So they'll pay their $5 for shipping. So there you go. Excellent. View cover. Boom. They can view the cover, view the book PDF. I confirm this looks good.
It's looking so good, man. Yeah, this is really exciting.
I am so excited for this new cover generator. Like, this is what I've wanted for so long. Okay, so here's now 2 questions. You can add it to your inventory. So we have a giant warehouse that you can just have books stored, right, and added to inventory there. And what that does is it removes the so in order to sell through our site, you'll need to add it to inventory. And we were 3 to 5 business days to print that one order. So let's say a customer comes on your site, they order a book. It's 3 to 5 business days to print that one book, and then whatever the shipping is beyond that. Now because you're adding books to inventory, and our minimum is 4 books. So it's really cost effective as well.
Oh, wow.
When they order, it will ship out same day, right? So whatever the shipping option your customer chooses, it gets shipped same day. So you'll have inventory and stock, and we'll do the auto generate too. So you can say, hey, every time this gets low, add 5 more, or whatever, 10 or 20 more. So that is something I'm super excited to bring to bear. So, it eases that print on that 3 to 5 business days for printing.
So good. So good. Yeah. Yeah. Because the sooner, the shorter the window between excited to buy and reading, the better. Yeah.
Exactly. Because right now it's about 2 weeks for them from the time they purchase to the time they get it in their hands. So we're looking at how do we cut that down? And this is the way to do it, add inventory. So we're taking on all that expense and just letting our customers have that ability. The only thing is they have to pre-order, right? Minimum 4 books, which is about 20 to under $50 for them to do that.
Yeah.
To have their book ready to go and ready to purchase, right? To their customers. This is my favorite thing. Okay, check this out. So let's say you have you're taking orders through your own funnel, right? Lots of people use ClickFunnels, WordPress, whatever. There's a ton of different ways to start selling the book, but however you're doing that, a lot of times people will order in bulk from a print-on-demand company, right? They'll order 100, 200 copies, have them shipped to their house, and then as they get these orders in, they're shipping them one by one. We wanted to get rid of that completely.
Yeah.
So let's say you're accepting orders, right? Oh, this person ordered 1, this person ordered 1, this person ordered 2. We want to make it as easy for you to come on here with your book and ship those out. So here, that's an old address. I don't really care.
I'll blur it out.
Okay, cool. 1 copy goes there. And then check this out. Oh, let's say they want to send 3 copies, 2 copies here, right? Or now they want to send,
that's cool,
right? 5 copies here. Boom. The coolest thing is, okay, let's get rid of all this. Now check this out. So you're now able to upload a CSV file with all of your orders. So you can go on WordPress, Shopify, wherever you're taking orders, and download that order list as a CSV file and directly upload it to the book patch.
To the book patch. That's huge.
So let's say you have 1,000 orders, right? All 1 book or all the quantity, right? 2, 3, 1 here, but you have a giant list and you're like, oh, I don't want to go do this one by one. Well, now, just for ease of use here, upload it there, boom, add addresses, and they get automatically added here.
Smooth. So smooth.
Yeah, so then your total order quantity, price per book, there's your subtotal there.
Yeah, and you've already been paid. So it's coming out of their money.
Right. So they're paying with their credit card and it's getting shipped to whoever they want it. So we're making it as easy as possible for someone to self-publish, take orders from wherever they take orders, and get those shipped out as quickly as possible to their customers.
Awesome. Yeah. This revelation actually makes me change a little bit because we're just finishing up our website. So actually our website and your website should probably be up at the same time. This is going to change a little bit how I offer the book on the website. So this is really, really awesome. And I'm glad I got a peek at this.
Cool. And then our customer support team, they're rock stars. You call them anytime or, within business hours, and they're available to walk you through any step. We want that. If you need a phone number to talk to someone right away, you have that ability here as well, which is different than a lot of publishing companies, because we know the headaches that come with trying to do all this, right? And the other thing is we have bulk discounts. So you'll see that here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and what's really cool, I mean, one of the things I plan on doing is when doing live events and stuff like that is kind of pre-order and sell them at the event, right? So you can get a better, say there's gonna be 100 people there and maybe you're going to sell, 25 books, right? You can get that bulk discount and make it even more worth your while. Those dollars add up real quick.
Right.
Real quick.
Right. Yeah.
So that's some amazing stuff. That's really some amazing stuff. So before we hop off, is there anything you'd like to leave the audience with? Any thoughts?
The
Songs, poems? No.
Yeah, I could start singing. That would be good. No, the biggest takeaway I want people to understand is your story matters, right? Your personal integration and your personal stories that you share in your book, in the book you write, are going to be what separates you from the masses, right? Separates you from all the other garbage that's out there. And it's really your personal connection to what's going to engage your reader and make them feel close to you. So if you're considering writing and you say, oh, I don't want to get personal, I would say absolutely get personal. Go deep, share these important stories in your life, and it will benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. And it's cathartic.
And it's
cathartic. Said before, it's true. It's so true.
And don't be afraid to self-publish. It's so easy now. And don't be afraid to take that step. And you're going to waste so much time finding a literary agent, having them take your book to a bunch of different publishing companies. Maybe they publish, maybe they don't. You're wasting so much time, where what we teach is your minimum viable book, right? We all know MVP, your minimum viable product. Create your minimum viable book, and you can always revise, right? How many revisions of your famous books, like the oldest books, do you know? Yeah. The Bible was freaking revised, right? So
right. King James got his own version.
King James has his own version. Don't be afraid. Like, done is better than perfect. Today is better than later. Get it done now. Get your story out there. And people, just the fact that you have a book sets you apart from every other, every other person in your niche. And most people aren't even going to read your book. So just the fact that you have it, you're going to be seen as the expert. So get that done. The coolest thing is when you finally hold the book that you've been dreaming about for years, right, in your hand. When you finally hold that in your hand, that is such an achievement. I want that for anyone that has ever thought about publishing. It's like
so good.
It's like your creation and all the blood, sweat, tears, all the hardship and turmoil over your life that you want to share, and the impact you want to make. It can be physical, and you can hold it right there in your hand, and it's a huge achievement. So
so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for being here and giving us that sneak peek right into the new website. It's even better than I could have imagined. I will probably be starting my publishing process in the next 2 weeks. We're right at the end of that, and then
cool.
Off to the races, brother.
It's such a journey, man. I'm excited to take it with you. It's really going to be a lot of fun. So, and this is just the start of what we can create on the book batch too. So look for really big things coming down the pipeline to make everyone's journey a little bit easier. So
awesome. All right, guys, you heard it here first. Thanks, Zachariah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you again for joining us. And if you like what we're doing with the entrepreneurial hierarchy of needs and want to show your support, the best way to show some love is to subscribe and leave us an honest review. We also have a Facebook group where we continue these types of conversations and so much more for all of our continued growth. I can't wait to see you in there.